Hey, hi everyone. Welcome back to a brand new video and a brand new series called Design Discussion. So, in this series, we'd be creating videos covering things like UI UX related discussion and the design discussion that are happening across the Neeto products. So, the videos would be covering up things like the issues that the users were facing while using the Neeto products, the discussion that happened behind the scenes, and the design that we have finalized, which could possibly fix the issue that the users were facing. So today we are looking into a product called Neeto Desk. So Neeto Desk is basically a ticketing platform where the users or the customers would be creating tickets like this, and the agent would be one who would be fixing those tickets or like providing the possible solution for the issue that the users are facing. Uh, so right now, Neeraj had created an issue like this where he had mentioned that it's not able to find the ticket status easily. So to give you a context of the issue, I'm right now in the closed uh, status, and let me just go inside a particular ticket. So this is the ticket details view where we have the issue that is being mentioned, and over here you can see the status of the ticket is being closed. So for Neeraj, it is kind of important that the status needs to be highlighted so that based on the status he is able to perform the action or like respond to the ticket or perform some other action. So he wanted the status to be highlighted. Right now you can see this is being grouped with other meta information and not being highlighted, but that's the issue what it was about. So based on that, we had a discussion to understand the issue a bit more. So basically, me, Sandeep, and Neeraj had a discussion, and based on that, I started working on the design for the same. So this was the first version that I had created, where I was thinking of highlighting the issue or like the status like this, so that as soon as someone lands in the ticket detail screen, he is able to see the status, like because it's right now highlighted like in a tag kind of UI. So he should be able to see the status evidently. uh, but after working on the design for this, I found two issues basically. One is the status being highlighted multiple times on the same region. So you can see for certain related status like unresolved, spam, and trash, uh, those things were highlighted three times. Like one is on the left hand side. So basically, this is the view, or you can say a filter. So there are system views and custom views that the user would be able to create. So in certain cases which are also part of status itself, like spam and trash can also be status and is also part of the system view. So if a user is navigating to a particular ticket via this route, like by selecting spam, then this would be highlighted over here, and the second time the thing would be highlighted is on the breadcrumb, and based on this design we would be highlighting this. So that is one issue, but the issue didn't persist if the user is navigating through other route like unassigned or assigned, where the ticket status might be like waiting for customer or on hold or done, but the user is kind of like navigating via this path. So that was one issue with the design. The second issue with the design was, for Neeraj, it is important that status needs to be highlighted, but for certain other team or for certain other person, it might not be the status, but it might be the priority of the ticket. So based on the priority, he might be responding to the ticket or like performing certain action. And so it was kind of probable that if you are going with this design, they might be creating in future, they might be creating an issue mentioning that they need to highlight the priority like what we have highlighted, like how we have highlighted the status right now. So those were the two issues that we were there, although this fixed the issue that Neeraj had was facing, but it was having this two issues behind this. Now that's when I was thinking of going with the second approach, where instead of highlighting things along like and showing at the top along with the title or somewhere, I was thinking, okay, showing or highlighting the things over the right hand side along with the meta information itself. So what I have done over here is, I have grouped the basic meta information that is needed by any team, like the status, priority, category, assignee, and team is now being grouped together into one single block. And here itself I have like highlighted the status. So the benefit of this is, uh, for Neeraj, he would be able to easily find the status for some other team who needs the priority to be highlighted, that is also highlighted because we are highlighting these two things, which means the entire block or the basic information, this particular card is kind of highlighted. So irrespective of the team or the person, the basic information is right now highlighted. So that issue got fixed by this version. The other issue was the way we were showing, like if you're showing the status over here, then that would mean like for certain other people, like priority should also be present over here. Also the redundancy which I had mentioned, like we were highlighting everything on the left hand side itself, so that is also kind of fixed with this issue, like this particular solution that we had proposed. So based on the discussion we were having, like this was the possible go-to solution, uh, considering the drawbacks with the first version. Now, after fixing this particular thing and deciding to, after deciding like we would be going with this particular design, we came up across like another issue, like what should be the color of the status. So based on that, I thought of going with this approach where we would be classifying or grouping these status into three different buckets. One is take action, the second one is on hold, and the third one is done. So just by looking into the color itself, the agent should be able to identify that okay, they need to take some action, or this ticket is right now under hold, or basically they don't have to take any action at the moment. And the third one is done, which means they don't have to take any action, everything is being done and closed. um, so what I was thinking is going with this sort of color combination, which is green, and green representing like you need to take an action, and hold bucket was represented by a light gray shade, which had status like waiting for customer, or like waiting for response, or on hold. And the third one is basically done, which had statuses like closed, spam, and trash, which means like the user doesn't have to, or the agent doesn't have to take any action. Uh, but Neeraj had pointed one issue, mentioning that green for him represented like it's kind of done, rather than like to take action. Because if you see, like most of the time when you're performing some action, the toast or the notification toast that we see are being represented by green color, mentioning you have successfully taken this action, right? So which means you are kind of done with those action, rather than like tempting him to do or take action based on this status. So that's when I further looked upon and like created this version. But this version, after creating this version, it is kind of clear that like okay, there is no difference between the version, the take action button and the done button. Like it was not evidently telling a particular agent that you need to take action. It was forcing the particular user to look into or read through the status to know okay, they need to take action, or if they don't have to take any action. So that's when we thought of going with or considering a different approach and going with the version 3, where we represented the take action via this, like using this particular color, which is the info color that we were using in the Neeto product. So this is a light blue shade that we have taken, and the rest of the two things were represented the same thing. So finally I presented this thing like version 3 for the color combination, and version 2 uh, for this thing, and had a discussion with the team. And that's how we thought of going with this particular approach, which could possibly solve the issue that Neeraj is facing. At the same time, this would also solve the issue that the other teams might probably face, like if they want the priority to be highlighted, still the entire basic info block that we have is right now being highlighted. So yeah, that's all in this video. Thanks.